Hey, what's up to another Been to the Mountaintop podcast, Stoked Edition. I have Q once again. Cue Pierre, program manager at Stoked. Q, we were just talking about how I saw you on our last meeting playing with your mustache, and you wanted to appear older. Why? Why do you feel like you need to appear older?
I don't know. You get in the room sometimes there's someone with a bushier mustache or bushier, it
Yeah.
shows wisdom. So why not go?
It's pretty crazy. I out of habit, I don't know what it was, but like out of habit, I always used to keep a clean face shaven, like all the time. And in fact, I used to, especially during fundraising times, like keep a clean face, and I didn't realize it until later. I was like subconsciously, it sounds crazy what I'm about to say. You want to appear non-threatening,
Mm.
especially when you're asking for money. You know what I mean?
That makes
As
sense.
a black man, does that resonate?
That makes sense. But I feel like a mustache today, what it does for you, it makes you
Yeah.
feel a little softer. Just a
You said
mustache.
the mustache makes you feel a little softer?
A little softer in today's world. I feel a little softer with a mustache.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, I
Like a
mean,
full facial hair though, probably not. That's too aggressive.
there is something to the effect of like you want to appear youthful
Hmm.
as long as possible. I think. I don't know. But then there's like this distinguishability of having a like facial hair that maybe people like. I have a friend. He says that he liked to wear glasses because it had made him appear smarter. I was like,
I
oh,
said that yesterday.
that isn't that it? That's an interesting. I never thought of stuff like that. Like I didn't really think of it until I started fundraising more for Stoked, and I was like, you know what? I gotta keep it real clean cut.
I wish I
These
had
people, these
glasses
people.
on because it does make you look smarter.
Yeah.
Then little things like that, like just like over analyzing yourself a bit, and then like going, oh, if I had glasses or a mustache, I think it does change the overall perspective of you. If I saw a dude walked in with a full beard, like my brain automatically goes to one thing.
What was that?
Now I'm not gonna say what you know.
Not gonna say it. Okay.
I'm not gonna say what it is.
Yeah.
Well, my brain goes one way, but then if he's like clean shaven, it's a blank slate. I got nothing. But if he has a mustache, I'm like, oh, that was intentional. Like a mustache is very intentional. So it might say something about like how he is and how they perceive themselves.
Does it matter with young people these days? How you appear, how
Um,
you present?
I want to say, yeah, it does. Especially with like New York Fashion Week happening right now. I feel like I got to go out and like overdress a little. Otherwise, people are either going to look at you or not look at you at all. So I think even
But you want people to look at you. You want people to look at you.
exactly. You never want to go under the radar today. I think everyone wants to be, or everyone at least in my age bracket and the world essentially that I'm in, everyone wants to be seen in some capacity. They're not like seen for who they are, but like seen for like what they're wearing, who they're wearing, and how they're wearing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's New York. New
Oh
York.
yeah. New York is hard, man. New York will make you feel like you're doing something wrong in your outfits.
Or in life.
Or in life. Yeah. What made you move to Chicago? What made you leave?
That's a great question. I really, really like that question. You know, what made me leave Chicago, like leave home was we lived in a fourth floor walk up around the corner from the projects, and I was raising two kids, and it was school time. So like New York City public schools are really cutthroat, right? And
Mhm.
kind of depending on the school you go to could help determine your like future outcomes, and you know what I mean? And so yeah, my oldest kid, he got into a school in Park Slope. And so we had to like go more into Brooklyn and then back into the city. And so that was like that. And then when it came to kindergarten, it was like, like it's all lottery. If you haven't lived in your neighborhood for a while, there's no such thing really as neighborhood schools.
Right.
So it was kind of eye opening. I remember one time I just had like this bad dream about, like my kids going to school, and it was just like it was just stressful because I know working at Stoked how challenging New York City public schools are for kids. So yeah, we did that. We moved, and then honestly it's like we're paying way too much in like the cost of living in New York is really high. And having two kids in New York City is really expensive. So, I mean, we were paying a lot of money for a nanny. And then all of my wife's salary was just going to pay the nanny's salary. You know what I mean? And so like,
Yeah.
but then we were like, yeah, New York is New York. I love New York. I love it so much, but it is not, you got to be a gajillionaire to raise a family there, like, and have a pretty decent living. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it here though. I mean, I go to other places. I go to places like all the places like everyone's like, "Oh, it's great there. You would love it." And I go and I'm like, I don't though. Like I never do.
Yeah,
Never
no,
do
well,
actually
I
enjoy
mean,
it.
you're at a point, you were born and raised, like I never, when I was 23, the idea of moving to another city was just not, I was like, come on, this is where I am. But, you have kids and it changes you. And you
Yeah.
realize that, like, honestly, here's the thing. It's like as much as I hustled really hard and I worked really hard and I put all my time and all my effort in Stoked while I was
Mhm.
there, uh, it's almost like you can't keep up with New York unless
Yeah.
you play a different game. Like, and you have to play a different game in New York to make it work for you.
Yeah.
And, again, it's like it's a different, I'd have to like either live on Long Island. I don't want to do that. Right. Like, I'd have to work in finance. I didn't want to do that. Right. Like, I needed to do something different. So, anyway, thanks for checking in on me. So tell me
Cool.
what's going on at schools? Where are we at?
At
How
schools.
many how many signed uh how many signed contracts do we have, and where are you at with programs?
So right now we have 6 signed contracts. All of them have start dates in October, and I think one started today, actually.
Which
And
is
then we
Retail
have,
Fashion?
which is amazing. I'm so excited to see what we do with HSFI. Just a large school and
How many
a
kids are
lot of
there?
kids. I think like 1,000. I went to their graduation and it was like a class of 300 or something. Yeah, but really big school. Really like into fashion kids,
That's
into
big
the
for New York
arts, into
City.
the culture. Oh yeah, dude. Because as New York is so chopped up, everything, all the schools are tiny and only hold like 500 now. Or we have 6 signed and sort of ready to go. We have a few more who are sort of in the follow up and in review stages. Like the minute I agreed, I was like, yeah, I'm free. I checked my emails and then 4 of them responded. So I'm hoping to follow up with them and get everything cleared out so that we can get a start date with them as well. But
You know,
six
be
will be
super
on.
helpful.
Yeah.
Be helpful is I know that you're waiting on them and you've already sent them proposals, right?
Yep, and I've sent them follow-ups. It's just the constant back and forth.
Yeah, I would offer to go in and see them like at a
Yeah.
date and time, just to be like, hey, let me make it easy. And
Yeah.
this is the other thing that I like to do. He's like, hey, I'm gonna make it easy. And I'm like, I'll bring you coffee. What's your coffee? Just like, and then go there with the signed contract, go there with the contract, print it out. And then we'll show them Stoked OS too, which I'm super excited about. We'll talk about that. Um, but yeah, that's what I would do. I would just like go to them and then offer to bring them coffee, because like no, principals get no love anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Nobody, they get nothing but bad news and problems to solve and fires to put out. So like if you go there and be like, yo, I want to do cool things with your kids.
Mhm.
And the pitch is like, I want to do cool things with your kids and have you brag to your other principal friends about how cool you're doing stuff with your kids.
Yeah. That's a win-win.
That's the so like the principals that get it, do you know that Stoked is a flex for them? And you actually kind of have to like remind them of that. And once you get to that point, remember we were talking yesterday about like being able to make sure that we have documentation of our programs because I want the principals to be able to log in to Stoked OS and then see their partnership at work.
Yeah.
Because then they're going to talk to their network chief or the head or whatever and like, oh yeah, my kids are going snowboarding. Oh yeah, we got this great program. And then the word travels.
Yep. And then next thing you know, we're trying to figure out how to take in 20 schools the next school year.
Exactly. That's a whole lot. I mean, we did 20 schools. I know how to do it better this time. Like way. We're literally gonna have the building blocks in place for us to just onboard schools super easily. We did it
Have we done 20 schools in the past? In
Yeah.
one state?
Yeah, not in one city, total. The most we had in New York was about 12.
12. All right. So that's my goal. I'm going for 15.
You do you, Q. You do you. Listen, it's a different era. You don't need to compete. You don't need to compete with old Stoke. I'd rather you have less schools with higher capacity, more stoked, more intention than a diluted 12, 15 schools.
But what if we had all of that with 15 schools?
Yes, of course.
Now that would be
I
amazing.
mean, do you want chocolate or peanut butter? I'm like, yes, that's what I want. Like, fun. That's what we got to do. We
No, I love the like I know comparison isn't good, but sometimes it gets me going. I'm like, let's do more than what we did in the past, but like in the best way.
Yeah. I mean, we're already listen, we are already doing more, I believe, right now. I don't know. I feel like we have a clear vision now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I mean I did a podcast episode on Stoked 2.0 and this direction that I just went over, but like so tell me as I start talking about Stoked 2.0 and just like the vision that I outlined, how do you feel about it?
I feel like the approach is just so different from like what I've seen. I think it's like more so meeting the kids where they are. And I feel like we say that a lot, but I think with that new approach, that's like meeting them like right on their phones, which is where they are most of the time. Because it's like they're kind of ran and controlled by memes and TikToks, and well, not controlled, but influenced by memes and TikToks, and people speaking their truth, their personal truths on social media. And that's the only content that they get, and the only sort of if they don't have Stoked to be mentors, if they don't have Stoked mentors, they have whoever's on their phone to sort of give them their ideas and their thoughts and all of those things. So I think it just gives us a chance to actually reach them rather than assuming where they are. We kind of would know just based off of what they're consuming on their phones and on social media and things of that sort.
So I had this thought. So there have been two things that I was thinking of. One was the way these tech companies are right now. It's almost like we are. So it's like I mean it sounds controversial. I think we're going to say, but it's very apparent is that it's like algorithmic slavery. You know, just what is makes sense.
Elaborate on that.
So slavery, what happened?
Maybe
Right.
elaborate on that.
So slavery, that they were slaves, they were the resource, and then they harvested cotton, right? So like, I'm sorry, slaves worked the cotton fields and they helped harvest cotton. right? Slave owners were like, so like slave owners are like tech companies, and we are like the slaves. And instead of cut, they harvest our data and sell it right back to us.
That's crazy. That's crazy. If we think about it that way, it makes me not even want a friend anymore.
So I'll tell you the thought that I just had. I'll tell you that I just had too, is that, you know how, so I thought of this. I was like, so I remember I had a friend, a German friend. She didn't believe that tech companies were listening to our devices, right?
Mm.
And so I remember I was with my German friend, and she was like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And then she took the phone and she just started talking about foot fungus as a joke for like, for like a couple minutes. The next day, I opened up my phone and I saw an ad for foot fungus.
Evidence right there.
But I mean, it's kind of the same thing with your For You page on TikTok,
True.
on Instagram, and on YouTube. Like, it's the same thing. And so so based off of that, I just came up with a term. You want to hear it?
I want to hear it. Got my pen out.
Algorithmic youth development. What does algorithmic youth development sound like to you?
Sounds like,
No, just say it from a conceptual level.
I guess it's just meeting, sounds like it's just meeting kids where they are, or giving them what they want, or tracking and finding out what they want and what they need. Your friend wanted whatever it was, and then you got it on your phone.
So that's a little bit of it. But so for me, like especially these times, depending on what you're into, that is reflected in your For You page, correct?
Correct.
So just imagine us being able to change kids' algorithm and feed them enough information, positive information, teaching them skills, role models, hope, positivity, skill building, all through their algorithm. So like we change their For You page so that it's towards the mission that we want out of Stoked. Could you imagine that? So like I've been, like if you watch enough sort of ice raids videos, which are very friggin', it's like watching a train wreck, right?
Yeah.
Like your For You page is going to be nothing but that. So what do you have to do? You have to hide, not interested, not interested. But like imagine us rewiring our kids' algorithms and their memes so that they are towards the things that they want to achieve in life. So like whatever they want to, so like when we sit down with our kids and we talk about your goals and your future aspirations, like what if, because they're not with us all the time, what if their For You page was programmed in part by us helping them program their algorithm?
Oh.
So like if a kid is interested in business, like, yeah, we like their algorithm is around that. If they're interested in health and fitness and they see themselves as like a certain way and they want to get healthy, like their algorithm is that. Like it's happy kids doing really cool shit. And all of the people feeding their algorithms are other people just like them. So we're like developing young people through the algorithm. And it's not exclusive because remember, like the foot fungus thing, the more time they spend with us, the more time their phone is going to be on. So we have to like instinctively. You remember you've been on calls with Devin, right?
Yeah.
And you know how Devin talks directly to his note taker? You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Imagine us speaking directly to our kids' algorithm. Because we're not going to beat it. We might as well reprogram it so that it works for our kids.
Yeah.
And for us.
Yeah.
We're not going to beat these tech companies. We're not going to beat, like there's no way. We don't have enough resources and we're so dependent on them. So we might as well hack them for the results that we want in our young people. A better, brighter future. One in which they're in control. They're not consuming, they're consumers.
Yeah.
Let's test that out. Let's test that out. Once we get the kids in and on board with Stoked, let's do some intentional like testing out of your algorithm. Be like, yo, what's your For You page? And then we have all their kids pull out their For You pages and say, how would you describe this? Right. And then we ask them, what do you want to be in the next 8 weeks? And then we just like help them reprogram their algorithm. That'd be
Honestly,
crazy. Wouldn't that be
honestly,
crazy?
I love that, and I think that would get kids thinking about it too. I don't think they're thinking about their algorithm all the time.
No, because companies want these kids to be drones.
Hmm.
They want them to be consumers. They don't actually care about them. They literally don't care about them. They're not thinking about them. Remember Brittany? She was like, like these people, they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care. They want them consuming things, buying things, eyeballs on the platforms. Listen, if we could actually teach our kids this, if they just had the understanding, like, yo, these tech companies, they're selling your eyeballs and your attention.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be on it, at least I want you to make money off of it. I don't want you
Right.
consuming. That's dumb.
All right. Or at least knowing you have control over it. I mean,
Or at least know that you have control over it. That's
yeah.
exactly it. That's exactly.
That over someone who thinks this is it is a big difference.
Is the awareness is everything, because now
Yeah.
you start I mean, if there was something that I really wanted to impart on our kids is the idea of systems thinking. Just like how do you think in terms of systems? Because everybody knows the fucking legal and criminal justice system. That's a system. Education is a system. Business, capitalism is a system,
Yeah.
right? Like the healthcare is a system. There's all these systems, but how do they operate within these systems? How do they show up? What kind of skills you need to have in order for you to feel successful? And if you're good, you can extract value from the system. You can give back to the system. Their school building is a system as well.
Yeah.
It's made up of all these different layers and people. Stoked is a system, right? And then then they can actually start to see themselves as players in this little game.
Right. Instead of just using whatever is right in front of them. Yeah. How do you utilize and finesse the system? I think I've been hearing, and finesse sounds bad, but I think I've been hearing that a lot. Like recently from professors and from, I mean, even talking with Matthew, like that's been being
Matthew is a next level systems thinker. Yo, he tell you about his job. I mean, don't mention his company, but you remember, you hear
yeah, yeah, yeah.
about his job, bro. He's next level. I don't think I could operate in that system.
The way he explained, I was just like, and then he realized how it sounded, and then he was just like, listen, everybody here, anybody anywhere who's anything has worked and is working the system. It's just up
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
you to like figure out the right way, as right as you can make it way to do it. And then I was just like, holy schmicks, I need to align with that because
Yeah.
the system isn't made for me. So why should I work for it? Why should I?
Well, yeah, this systems aren't meant for certain people. I
Yeah.
mean, that's really it, right? Like that's really it. Certain systems aren't meant for certain people. So yeah, man, I'm glad that you got to go to a Mets game, or is it a Yankees game?
It
Mets?
was a Mets game. I wish it was a Yankee game, but the Mets
Did
are
they
cool
win?
too. They did not. They lost within the first 18 minutes. There were people walking out 18 minutes after the game started.
My gosh, that's wild. That's wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm glad that you got to spend some time with him. He's a good guy. He's
Oh yeah, dude.
super smart. Okay,
And he's also on top of it, smart as chill.
so here's an update on progress for this Stoked 20-year event. So we sold 8 tickets. We got how many more do we have to go? There's 350 people. We got 352 left to go. I got a bunch of commitments of people that I know they're gonna buy tickets. Go to
Okay.
worldrecord.stoked.org. And you can get tickets there. I got 2 artists to confirm for the art auction. And then I got a bunch of ask out. I started sending out sponsorship proposals to companies. I guess sent out 2 sponsorship proposals to warm leads. And then, yeah, me and Salema are still working on this run. So next week we're going to start fundraising for the run as well. Yeah, I think I'm pretty excited. We launched, let's talk about Stoked 2.0. I mean, Stoked OS.
Well, that is a cool system that I'm excited for because it is so easy to use. Like I was just looking at it, I was like, everything just kind of lays here, which is perfect, and everything's in one place. Like I can see data without even clicking on.
Can you share your screen?
Which is
Can you share your screen?
yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I can share my screen once I edit it.
So backstory is that I don't know, like 12 years ago, I envisioned what Stoked like on a digital platform would look like. And let me see if I could find, but actually before you do that, I want to show you the very, very first version of it. Oh my God.
Let me.
Hold on. This is actually wild. So what did I called it Stoked Plus back in the day. So dude, I came up with this idea in 2016. Isn't that crazy?
That's insane. Now what is it? 9 years later, almost.
Yeah. So I came up with this. Let me show you the original pitch. It took friggin' 9 years to do this. And then when we started building it, it took 3 days. You see how fucking far technology has gone? Like it's pretty wild. Hold on. Yeah, this is fun. I'm gonna show you. Let me show you this. Let me show you. Please.
It's insane how far it's gone in the last 5 years.
You see my screen? So this was like the pitch deck for for this app. It was called Stoked Plus. Actually makes me happy to be even I don't know, it's pretty humbling to see that, like, okay, good ideas do take time.
I'm here. I'm back. All right, so I got Stoked Plus tracking. There you go.
So I'm gonna show you the deck, the original deck, for you to actually see. Can you see my screen? Okay, so it was called Stoked Plus, tracking what matters in after school and youth development program. So again, this is my original pitch in 20. I came up with the idea in 2015, and then I started to get serious about it in 2016. So hold on. So yeah, stop struggling to track your after school programs the hard way. Manage your programs better and make better decisions with powerful dashboards and reports you can access. So it's a mobile app for program leaders to track attendance, admin panel for program managers and directors, identify and solve problems. So how did the most successful youth development after school program produce amazing results? And so it was like data collection, tracking and measurement, consistent funding, parental engagement, student retention. So like this is how people normally do it. So like program leaders, program directors talks to them, they spend time entering data several different places, and then it's scattered info makes it difficult for people to know where to look for metrics. And then time, like program director, time spent and dashboards, and entering metrics are still not prepared on time. So like these are all of the different people. So remember I was telling you, I was like, I want to be able to know where the hell programs are. Like what are I don't want to wait a week. That's too late, right? And so yeah, so this is Stoked Plus. So this is the way I envisioned it, like, years ago, this dashboard. Hold on. I think is that from these. I think that's it. Oh yeah. So the benefit. Oh, hold on. So it's efficient, scalable, catch and fix issues later, increase employee accountability, saves precious time. Are you laughing? Okay.
Now,
Yeah. So this is the way I envisioned it. This is my first time looking at it in a couple of years. Like actually 5 years. I haven't looked at this deck. But like, the idea is that you could search, add a student, add an event, add a program, add a school, manage logins. You can see like all of the data. I think I forgot how, I don't know who made this. I think I made it up. I couldn't remember.
We should for sure take some inspiration off of it, like adding events. I know we're already planning on adding programs, but that would
Yep,
be a good
yep,
way for
yep.
us to track.
And you see Chris right
events.
here, right? And then there's a mobile app. Wouldn't that be cool? And then we have upcoming programs. You could see dates, right? You could see all of the program dates.
And that'd be easy for mentors to just easily sign up for
Exactly.
different snow days or whatever.
So yeah, so that was the original deck. We're not.
I mean, we're not
Oh,
far off now. I'll share my screen and show a little bit what we've got. Yeah, like I keep visiting it because I'm like, okay, when is the next update coming in? Because I'm excited to see what the programs are gonna look like and all that. But then there's the youth login, which is for kids and their parents to sign up and log in, and then there's the staff, and then this is the admin page. This is where we can manage partners, manage enrollments, manage coaches. All coaches have to do is just make an account, and then if they're actually a coach, they'll just get approved. And then this is what it is right now, but we can see the amount of users that we would have on the platform, the total amount of coaches, total enrollments, and then total partners. And I was just thinking last night, I was like, imagine if this said like 10,000 users. Imagine if this said like 70, 80 coaches. Imagine this said like 2,000, 3,000 enrollments, 72, 86 partners.
that would
And
look
like,
crazy,
that
right?
would look crazy if we, that would look crazy on this platform. I was just like, these are very small numbers right now, but like, imagine when it gets like packed and full. And imagine what it's going to look like by the end of this school year, and then so forth and going forward. This platform could be amazing, especially if we add programs, if we add ways to send out information and events and like just everything loaded on here, and it still keeps this simple look like that.
I just yeah, let me show you. Let me show you one of the original decks. So this one was from 2015. Actually, I started in 2014. Is that wild? Dude,
That's insane.
oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my gosh.
I was like, at this point, we don't even need our like. I mean, eventually we can just put it.
That's the idea, man.
Onto that platform.
Everything.
Documents, uploading everything. So nothing gets lost. It all gets uploaded.
Let me show you. Yeah, man, I started this in February. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Dude, this is the OG proposal. Let me show you. Dude, you know how I made this by hand in Google Draw. Like, like when you can like draw different things. Dude, this is the original. You see this? This is,
yeah.
Dude, everything here is a square and a button. You know how long it took? Dude, this is I use squares and shapes and numbers and colors to do every single thing here. Like even this pie chart, right? Like everything here, this is the way I envisioned Stokes back in the day. I came up with this in, let's see, version history. See version history. Look at that. June 2013. Bro.
2013?
You know what this is? You know what this is?
What is
Yeah, I did this in Google Docs with sheets and colors. Dude, there was no technology. It took me like a week or two to do this. Isn't this crazy? Look. Yeah, all these, like I created a table because this is how I looked at the world, right? Like I looked at like, how do I, like, when I log in, I want to see kids doing their thing in programs, and then we see a calendar, right? And then we could break down like physical ed, after school programs, weekend programs, career development programs. Like this is the way that I viewed the world. And so this was like this was one school. And then this was another one. Again,
Can we actually use that other page to help break down how we're gonna
yeah,
try to
hold
one?
on. Yeah,
I was looking at that. I was like, oh, that is a smart way.
let's see. Oh yeah, so this is, oh my God, this is Nandi.
I've met him when he volunteered with us. He was like one of the first mentors that I met.
Anyway, so yeah, so he's probably like 30 years old now. Anyway, so oh yeah, so like, can you still see my screen? So yeah, so remember I was saying like, oh yeah, Nandi gave a coach an attitude during this session, right? Nandi did his first tray flip, right?
Yeah.
So this was the biggest thing that I wanted to do. So hold on, let me show my screen one more. This is my last thing I want to show you. But yeah, Nandi's like almost 30 years old.
I thought he was like younger. He looks good for almost 30.
You see my screen?
Yeah.
So remember the opportunity gap? There's that like the number of kids, like the number of hours that low income kids get versus middle class, upper middle class kids. So they get 4,000 more hours of enrichment more, like middle class, upper middle class kids. So I was obsessed with the idea of like packing in as many hours as possible. And so I kind of looked at like, can you imagine a young person going through their program, right? Through our program or any program. And it's like, how many hours did you put into that program? If you could quantify how much time you spent skateboarding, can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
Fortnite does it. Fortnite, you can tell how many hours you spent on Fortnite. Like, why can't we do that with skateboarding? And why couldn't it be tied to something better? Right? Like, why couldn't it be tied to like, because to me, if I sat down with the skateboarder, I'm like, yeah, this guy spent 7,000 hours skateboarding. I'm like, yo, that's a dedicated person right there.
And then it also like pushes him to keep going too. It's like
It pushes you to keep going.
why would I stop? I've done it for this long.
Woo! That was a memory lane right there, man.
I wanna see those if you can, I would love to see um or if you can just like share it with me because I would love to see how you broke down like tracking student engagement and all that stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause I was looking, I was like, that would be really useful information
Yeah.
rather than like the overall amount of hours to say how much time.
Oh yeah. Well, in the future, that's what we'll be able to do with Stoked OS is that we're going to be able to see like the based off of the program, they'll have different tags, and we can run. We'll be able to run reports. Right now, we just need to get data in there. Once we get data, then we could start visualizing whatever we want after that. You know.
Yeah, and it would be easy because all we would do is like program the schools however long their sessions are. If a kid gets put in as present, it just adds the hours to whatever they're doing. They sign up for a program, they just get added. If they get put in as present, adds however long that program's scheduled to take place.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the amount of hours based off of how much time they spent.
I'm so excited to see what this is gonna look like.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be a game changer for us and for everybody that uses it. So cool. All right. What's a big takeaway from today?
Big takeaway. Big takeaway. Let's see. A Stoked 2.0, I guess. I feel like we keep saying we're changing it, but we're still aligning with what our original vision was, which is to support kids and meet them where they are. So I think that's my big takeaway. It's just seeing how it evolves and keeps going and keeps growing and keeps supporting and aiming to help more and more and more kids. That's my big
Well,
takeaway.
I think for me, I realized that we've stopped talking about what we're going to do and we're actually doing the thing that we are talking about. Like, oh yeah, we're literally like Stoked OS is not like a conceptual thing. It is
No, it's a
actually
thing.
happening. You are using it. We are building it. Like, period.
Yeah. It's exciting and it feels good too, knowing like we're saying these things and weeks later it's done. It's happening.
Yeah. Cool, man. All right. It was great to talk.
Yep.
We'll see you
I'll
in the
talk.
next one.
Yep. See you later.
Bye.